Okay, welcome back to part 2 of creating a glass button. So we have our basic button shape. If we come over to layers, where my mouse is here, and we come down to the bottom where there's a sign that looks like a plus sign on a folder, new duplicate layer, click on that and we can create a new layer which is layer 1. Come over to the left hand side, under the vector section we're going to select the text tool and we're going to draw a text box across the middle of the button like this. I'm going to set my font size to about 50. My effects here, I'm going to go from regular to bold, and my font itself I'm going to choose, instead of the default one, I'm going to choose Trebuchet MS. So we're going to scroll down to the T's, get Trebuchet MS, which is just that. And I'm going to type in GO and then exclamation mark. Okay. I'm also going to change the color of the font. If I highlight the text to the blue here, the blue swatch, it's 0000FF, in case you're wondering. And if you go to the pointer tool, we need to make sure that that text is positioned right in the middle of the circular button. Just by using the dotted lines we should be able to work that out, just there. Okay, so then I'm going to, having selected the text, I'm going to add a filter. This one's going to be shadow and glow, drop shadow, and you can see the settings here. I'm going to change the distance from 7 to 6. I'm going to keep the opacity at 65. The softness though I'm going to change from 4 to 8. I'm going to keep, I'm going to change the angle by typing in 270 degrees, and the color from black I'm going to change it to the same color, which is the blue that I had before. So if you're not sure, you can type in 0000FF, and that is the filter added. Okay, what I'm now going to do is come over to the layers section where my mouse is here. I'm going to rename layer 1 here, where it says layer 1. I'm just double clicking there. I'm going to change this to text. I'm going to select enter. I'm also going to put a padlock or click in that box there where it can stops this text layer from being edited accidentally. And I'm going to come down to the bottom and create a new layer, sorry, with the plus sign on the folder there, and I've now got a new layer there, layer 1. So if we come back over to my toolbar under the vector section, go back to the shapes tool and hold my mouse down for a couple of seconds. I want the ellipse tool, but this time I'm not going to draw a circle, I'm just going to draw a standard ellipse. Okay, I'm going to make it about that big, should be about that size. Okay, what I need to do is take the pointer tool and just make that so it's positioned again centered, and if I get it wrong I can delete it and start again, but it needs to be taking up about the top third of the button. Okay, what I need to do now is come down to the properties section, and again I'm going to give this shape, this ellipse shape, a gradient fill. So I click on gradient fill just there. I'm going to come over to the left hand side arrow just here, and I'm going to make that one white, and I'm going to come over to the right hand side one and I'm going to make that one black, just like that. I'm going to click there, and I can see that that has now got a gradient, white at the top, black at the bottom. If I come over to where it says normal blend mode, I don't want normal blend mode, I want to use the drop down to select screen, and that's now gone almost transparent. And excuse me, now just before I finish off, I want to change our opacity to, from 100 down to about 80, and you can see how that's just affected it, and that is our button just about done. If I come back to layers where it says layer 1, I can double click on layer 1 and I'm going to type in reflection, if I can spell it properly, and press enter. I'm just going to put a padlock in there, and what I need to do here is up here where it says optimize, I'm going to select JPEG for the better quality one, and I'm then going to go and save my file to do a file save as. I'm going to call this glass button, and I'm going to save it as a JPEG just there, and that should now be your button finished. If you want to test it, you can go to File, Preview in Browser, Preview in iExplore, and you can see how the button should look, and that is a glass button.